All right, welcome to part three. We're going to go over why I switched to hook grip and kind of the events that led to me doing that. So I was always pretty diligent about tracking. I track everything, and I even tracked when I would use my left hand under, my right hand under for individual sets. And I would always mix it up because I knew I didn't want muscle imbalances. I knew that was the better way to go. But I would always get SI joint pain, and it was quite frequently. And then even leading up to this, though, I had to stop doing that because I got a little bit bigger, and my lats were getting in the way of going right hand under without helicoptering. So I was always switching to left hand under. That was probably only a month, maybe even 2 weeks before this. But then on this 585, I severely inflamed one of my SI joints, and I was like, wow, that was really painful. And so after like 15 minutes of trying to foam roll to make it better, I ended up just switching to right under. And then after I did the right under 605 for the PR, which was like a 60-pound PR, I noticed that my other SI joint was severely inflamed. And that's when I kind of clicked for me. I was like, wow, I think that my mixed grip is having a severe problem, is causing severe problems with my lower back. And then it kind of clicked for me. I was thinking back to all the times that I'd use straps or rep PRs with big heavy weights, how that didn't really hurt my back. It wasn't the same thing. I avoided SI joint problems with that. And so I started training with straps for a while. And then I also started reading about hook grip and what my options were, and I started learning hook grip. So here you have it 4 months later. This is my first PR attempt with hook grip. You'll notice that my hook grip, I'm digging it way in there. This is 4 months later, and I probably spent I probably spent 2 months with torn calluses on my thumbs. I thought that was just part of the learning process. And to a smaller extent it is. Even when you use my form, you are still going to tear calluses. You can avoid a lot of the callus tearing, you can avoid a lot of the pain, but it will still happen. Here we have the 635 that's 545. Anyway, so you'll notice that form, and this is the first time I pulled 3 times body weight. I actually only weighed like 190 in this, so this is probably, I think it's like 3.3 times body weight. I think this might be my best all-time deadlift, pound for pound. And I remember after pulling this, I remember that my back was sore, but it wasn't SI joint pain. It was a different type, and it was like a lot more natural. It healed up a lot faster. It was a lot less aggravating. Here's a 635. I actually got kicked out for this because the lady hated powerlifters. She'd always say like, oh, there's other bodybuilders in here that are a lot bigger, and they don't lift heavy. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm trying to get stronger, whatever. She just didn't understand. It doesn't comprehend powerlifting. It's not her problem. It was our problem, but it is what it is. This is 1 year later, actually 364 days later, and you'll notice my hook grip has evolved a little bit. In between that last session and this session, I had sprained my thumbs a couple of times, and that's when I stopped digging my thumb way down in there. And you'll notice that I'm not digging my thumb in. I'm still sinking the bar into my hand a little bit, not nearly as much. The other thing you're going to notice is how much lower on my thighs the bar is at lockout compared to the 605 and even the 635. 615? Yeah, 615. This is at the end of a mock meet. Told 1705 for my best ever performance. Here is 645 for a 10-pound PR after 364 days. Unknown fact, I took a shot at tequila before this deadlift. Do tequila and deadlifts because we're south of the border, not whiskey and deadlifts. That's for north of the border. But yep, 645, 10-pound PR in 364 days because of my awesome programming. No, honestly, I focused a lot on my squat, and it is what it is. I probably should have worked a little more on my deadlift, but all right, this is 2.5 months later. You'll notice that I figured out my hook grip for real. Now you'll see how much looser I'm holding it in there, 585. You'll see it's even lower on my thighs at lockout, but even more importantly, I'm so much higher even when I initiate the lift. I'm literally doing a box deadlift compared to other people. There you go, 625 for my second attempt. This was another mock meet. We were supposed to do an actual competition, but they moved the date on us, so I couldn't do it because I was moving. 655 for my third attempt. And I went for a fourth attempt. This counts for, in my federation, it counts for, by the way, it's the Gravity Wars Federation. It counts for your total, but not records or whatever. I don't know how exactly it works. Anyway, so that was 675. Yes, it was downward movement, so it wouldn't have counted. Yes, I just tripped over those plates, but anyways, that is the why I switched over and the progression of my hook grip. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more installments of the Hook Grip Bible for Powerlifters. Peace.